can call me Mystic Mike because I predict these things.
Ryan Loder takes on Ismail Naurdiev this Saturday at UFC Fight Night, Qatar. And Ryan Loder, 34 years old, 6'2", 76-inch reach, decent size for the middleweight division. Really good wrestling base, primarily a wrestler, looking to get guys down, do a little bit of ground and pound, hunt for submissions. Coming in off of a loss to Azamat Bikoyev, where he got kind of fraud checked on the feet. Took some damage there, got KO'd. Before that, beat Robert Valentine. Hurt his arm in that fight, I think, either with that Kesikatami armbar he went for, or he threw him to the ground at one point, and I saw Valentine post. So I think that Valentine kind of hurt his arm in that first round. And in the second round, he really wasn't able to just defend against the takedowns. I think he got crucifixed and ground and pounded. So, hasn't really fought the best competition, in my opinion. Lost a split decision on the regional scene. Went into the Ultimate Fighter. Obviously won that with his win over Robert Valentine. But taking on Ismail Naurdiev, who's younger, a lot more fights. This is his second stint in the UFC. He initially was in the UFC back in 2019. Beat Michel Prazeres, which is a good win. Lost to Chance Rencontre, however you say his name. Beat CR Baharzada, which is a good win, and then lost by decision to Sean Brady. So no shame in that, but then went to the regional scene, went 4-3. Now he's back in the UFC. Don't really know why he's back in the UFC, honestly. He's good, he's okay, but 4-3 usually doesn't get you a shot back in the UFC. Took on Bruno Silva, who isn't the best in the world. Took him to a decision, not the best look. And then lost a decision to Jung Young Park, where he was doing really well. The first round, second round, had that illegal shot to the head. Lost the round. It was essentially a 10-7 round for Jung Young Park in that one. And then he kind of just took over in round 3 with his pace and his pressure as Naurdiev started to gas. So both these guys, not the most high-level fighters, not the most high-level matchup, but I would say that Ismail is the more well-rounded fighter. He can wrestle, he can strike. I think that he'll outstrike Loder in this matchup, be able to defend the takedowns for the most part. I think that Loder is uncomfortable on the feet if he can't get his takedowns going. Uses kind of big punches to close the distance for takedowns or the clinch, but if he starts to get hurt or stuck on the feet, his hands will drop, his chin will start to raise, and I think he's there to get knocked out like we saw against Bikoyev. So I think that Ismail will be hitting him, having a lot of moments on the feet where he's forcing Loder to stand, being busy with the hands, mixing up punches to the body. And Naurdiev has really good kicks. I think he'll use those kicks to slow down Loder, manage the distance. He had solid calf kicks and body kicks in his previous fights, and I think he'll be able to use that along with his movement to kind of avoid the wrestling. And he can wrestle as well, defensively, offensively, has good takedown defense, good offensive wrestling. Started wrestling at a young age when he left Chechnya, like 9 years old in Austria. So he's got this takedown background, he's got takedown entries that are good. Ismail was controlled on the ground in his last fight and started to fade, but that was just a weird fight like I alluded to earlier. Thought he had the win, jumping on the cage, probably had a big adrenaline dump, then had to go back into the fight, lost that round, down 10-7, has to get a finish in round 3. And that's a tough guy to be going up against during those circumstances against the Iron Turtle, who's just grows as the fight goes on, and just has relentless pace and relentless pressure. So weird fight. He has been KO'd as well. That was like 3 years ago against a really good guy in Vadim Kutsi. He was like 17-2 at the time, and I don't think Loder's got the striking ability or the power to really chin him. He's been subbed as well, but I just don't think Loder has the submission ability to catch him. And Ismail's fought such better competition as well. He has almost 4 times the pro fights, 24-8. Younger guy as well, going to be 5 years younger. He's going to be a little undersized in my opinion. He did used to fight at welterweight, now he's fighting at middleweight, but I just think in terms of overall skills, maybe he's not the better pure wrestler, but I think he's good enough in the wrestling department and much better everywhere else to be able to kind of nullify the one-trick pony in Ryan Loder, who's also, again, coming off of that knockout loss back in May. 34 years old, so a lot of pressure on him. His job could be on the line in this one. So I'm going to go with Ismail Naurdiev. I think he's going to be able to just kind of be a little bit better than Loder everywhere, be able to defend the takedowns, land the better strikes on the feet, make a good case for himself if it does go to the ground in terms of his scrambling ability, also his submission ability too. I don't see him not being able to scramble up and to reverse position if it does go to the ground too. So I'm going to go with Ismail Naurdiev. I think he can get this one done by decision. Maybe he loses a round to Ryan Loder, just holding him up against the cage, knee in the thigh, controlling him in the clinch, but I do think that Naurdiev will be able to do enough in this one to win 2 rounds and get the decision. Thanks.